Famboluna kusha and luna adu. We are don't come back today for can talk about things where they happen. Now we on sweet chats alone. Now in our own. Whoa, they will have to do them bad things then. We they feel most alone. In our own. Whoa, we are. And if we hurt you, we sorry. We no mean bad, oh, we just want to make we had go before. If we hurt you, we sorry. We no mean bad, though, we just want to make we had go before. Fumble. Kusha again and again inside this one big family house in Cabo. We always tell us we there for talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly where they happen inside the country. And we also they back up and tell you say, since we can take Kabio come inside, what we feel say things them for better now because of the words that we use for campaigns, salon people then. Now we find out say the UK end up don't pass mark na the country. Another stress day for now, another bombshell for now, another regret for now, another grumble for now, another say, well, we will not get hope again for una. Well, another lose hope for una. Family members then, we not even care for country. We not care for country. This na sharp one just for campus. This very important information. One thing about salon. Now, yesterday we tell una say we don't sacrifice. But being that Sierra Leoneans them, some of them no want for join me for sacrifice, then they are not get for stop now the country. Since that, some Sierra Leoneans no want for come and see how we all get deprived with freedom. Them like how some of we don't deprive everything, including seeing we own family. The problem will be solved until we all feel say yes. It don't reach a time where we all for come together. We in the social media and one other people refer for come together like this before ever we conquer those fights and before the nonsense stop for happen in the country. Family members, then we all know the reason why make Madabu be bring come Kone at the scene. And before Madabu before Kone succeed Madabu, we been get a lot of comments them yesterday to different commissioners them na ECSL. But one thing about Madabu, Alpha side don't tell we say Madabu not like for keep good people them, you not like for they around good people them, you not like good people them for surround them. But for anybody who know how to do bad, for anybody know how to cook bad, for anybody know how to plan bad, for anybody know how to plan evil, like how Madabu don't they plan evil from the days of NPRC, the 1991 war up to today, the same Madabu come and continue they cook them bad things here and serve we the citizens them. Family members they can't play for now something again we don't happen inside we had. For you and like we had in go on before, for you and know how people they suffer, this get for paying you again this net. Member say before Kone come and execute the mission where Madabu bring them for another scene. It be bring them because they don't set them say, in no say people of Sierra Leone not get for votes for them. In no say people of Sierra Leone don't gain them. In no say people of Sierra Leone don't tire with them. In no say people of Sierra Leone don't say you know they able to do anything better in this country. Now it make people them be not ready for votes and then go vote them out. He come with Kone, waiting he say Kone, all of them say I don't aware of them, but I they come with you for can do this mission. come and deprive, come and thief, come and loot, come and take the people and rights in their hand. Me not care about the well-being of the people, about the survival, otherwise he die. Just like the statement where he said study, but I care for the seat as the caretaker. So announce me as the caretaker of Salon. Indeed, we suicide Conedwam. But remember yesterday, say before they can play this thing, and they build a foundation for you. Remember yesterday, say we get commissioners, them as I said earlier, we become and tell we say, them, then they do, they left the rest to the security. And one of these commissioners, he named Edmond Alpha na the South. He become explain and tell we Sierra Leone and they say, and this are one people and they go and make gra. In one of the commissioner them, and he pulled that video, play him at this family house. Who said Edmond Alpha tell we say, when they don't call Madabio as caretaker, then they left the rest of the security. Where means say, if the people of Sierra Leone are okay, the security then all gone, as Madabio instructs them, and the head of army, and the head of police, for make them kill people like out and kill them in the country. And indeed, we see suicide happen. As they announce Madabio, boom, swear in, Napalo, behind the toilet, them all and do all the ceremony. We they can play you something about this Edmond Alpha. Now, Madabio don't appoint again this man for you want them. Say, the work where you be do for me and that word where you talk, indeed it happened. So now, I appoint you back. Let you take this position back as a commissioner in the South. Because as he say, you not possibly sabi for work for me. You not possibly know how to do you kill like me. And you not what about the people that don't want to salon and go on before they're corner. Then do that one day. The APC MPs them again. Today they walk out. Then walk out now the well of Parliament. As they come out, 9-11 Edmond Alpha the position. So as we talk to you, that man in video where we've been playing now, please, when our family members, anybody who get that video, they make this video scatter from this night. Now the social media, that man will be come and make videos say, after they as ECSL, don't pronounce Madabio as the winner of Mama Saloon. They don't care again that he died. The balance that they left onto the security when in the episode, they will make police not afraid for kill civilian. We make so the man not afraid for kill civilian. This man he cook this word. Edmond Alpha. And he put word on top that say, he, as a commissioner at that time, he no say he wants, he no say the international community wants change. The international community understands, say, nobody don't like Madabio again. But they don't care about the international community. Not so then they can dictate for them na ECSL. As far as they're concerned, Madabio don't take them, don't employ them for work for them. And the mission is where they succeed to work. Madabio they compensate them with a lot of salon taxpayers' money, and they do, they don't care about international community. And indeed, they do. So now, una patient. Una care for you. Una just patient. Una can watch this video and listen and see with your eyes waiting will it happen. Come see the drama will happen at Parliament. Again, as una just sit on the relax, una read the tripartite committee, what they tell about Oppostion, I know they ever believe. All the bloggers, they go and fetch themselves, party to party, inside one party, now they fetch themselves, now they fetch themselves for just destroy the life of people in the country. Say, let nobody not come out for Madabio, blah, blah, tripartite, this, that, una can't see the drama. And yesterday, Madabio don't come and tell una say, Ura come, he receive bullets. For telling us say he not care about nobody, he not care about the life of people in the country, but he care about the power we incident. Una can watch the drama will happen inside Parliament again.
In that belief, Mr. Speaker, that catapulted us in 2018 to State House. In 2012, Mr. Speaker, when we lost in 2012 and we said we were going to court, the Honorable Manso said in 2018, I will not be top up. I will not contribute fully to the SLDP to come to governance. And that came into fruition. Thank you very much, Mr. Honorable Manso. Speaker, honorable members, for Mr. Gombe, who is going to the ACC, you have done well. You've been around the ACC for the longest period. Your performance has elevated you to be appointed and reappointed as Deputy Commissioner. You are wishing well. We hope you will not disappoint His Excellency. Believe in you. We hope you will not disappoint this Parliament. And we hope you will not disappoint the people of Sierra Leone. You are wished well. Congratulations. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I am in a unique situation when addressing Mr. Alpha, Edmond Alpha. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I have been opportune to interview Mr. Alpha for the second time. Mr. Alpha was my lecturer when I went to Ghana University. He started lecturing me in first year. Mr. Speaker, this is what time does. He was once my lecturer, marking my papers, giving me E, F, E, A, C. And a few years down the line, he was seated before me to determine whether he's going to secure a new job or not. That is why, Mr. Speaker, when you have an opportunity, treat people with the utmost respect, considering that tomorrow you will need them. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Alpha, when they started the National Electoral Commission, he was lecturing at Jala. It was the period, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, that Jala University needed him the most. It was the period that Jala was transitioning from a displaced university in Freetown to Bo. And he was one of our best lecturers. When he said he was going to leave, Mr. Speaker, if the lecturers, academic staff, students, they are crying for his presence. He said, okay, I'm not going to leave in totality. I'm going to be doing part-time. And we enjoyed that when we went to Bo. He was moving from Freetown and on the weekends going to lecture us in Bo. But because he wanted to devote more of his time to the National Electoral Commission, he was not able to continue as a part-time lecturer. So, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, if some of us are here today and we can speak eloquently and we debate on the issues, Mr. Alpha, Edmond Alpha taught us communication skills. Thank you very much for that, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I was the chairman that interviewed Mr. Edmond Alpha. And we had the position of the opposition. Mr. Speaker, I believe, and I told my colleagues, there is no way under the dispensation of His Excellency, retired Brigadier Julius Malapé, that a commissioner of the Electoral Commission will be appointed and the opposition will accept. They will not. They will never. Because they believe that the people who are part of NEC are responsible for their downfall. Little realizing it is their own performance when they were in governance that led to their own downfall. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I was in this parliament in opposition. I was on that side. I could still remember, you are part of us. I could still remember. We continuously reminded them that if you do not perform to the best of your ability, to the pleasing of Sierra Leone, you will be voted out. And on that side, we told them that 2018 going forward will be on this side. So they were here. And they put the blame on the electoral commissioners. Even if you bring an electoral commissioner from the United States, the fact that that electoral commissioner is going to be elected, to be nominated by His Excellency, Mr. Speaker, I believe they will refuse. So, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the issues they raise, Mr. Speaker, and I believe they are going to raise these issues. I believe that these are non-starters. Because the commissioner has performed to the best of his ability in the 2022 election. I believe we should just come here and talk to him. So, Mr. Speaker, they said they were not consulted. using 32.3, which is also correct. They are here to oppose. And if they believe they were not consulted, they should say it. And they said it in the committee, Mr. Speaker. But Mr. Speaker, I have a correspondence that is signed by Lansana Dunguya ESQ, who is the current Secretary General of the All People's Congress. Mr. Speaker, let me just, with your leave, let me just paraphrase.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Yes,
Honorable.
The leader is a senior member of this house, and if you are referring to a correspondence from a political party, you cannot be reading it from your phone when other members do not have it. Anybody else can say I have the document for the sanity of the house.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, when I read this document, I'll present it to you for you to verify for this house.
Okay, I will allow the member to read it out. Make sure you give me a copy. Clerk, make sure you distribute the copies to all members of Parliament.
Mr. Speaker, let's not bother ourselves with that. We have a common forum. Let him share it in the forum.
Okay,
I will share it now, so share it now, because we have to do confirmation.
I'm sharing it now, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable, let me please wait. Please. No, hold on, please. Honorable Deputy Leader of Government, have you shared it?
I have.
Honorable members, can you confirm?
Yes.
Can you confirm?
I shared it.
I've seen mine.
The name of the forum. Maybe it's SFP forum.
No, the Parliamentary update forum, please.
You see, no, that's not our common forum.
No, we don't have a common
No,
forum.
we have. Ask the Deputy Speaker, we have.
Okay.
We have a common forum. We discarded that one because there are also staffs are in the group.
Okay, I have sent it to the Deputy Speaker who forwarded it to the common forum. Please.
Then send it particularly to Honorable AKK
Yeah, please.
for distribution. Okay, thank you very much.
Mr. Speaker, the reasons they are raising on the rejection of the Electoral Commission as South Speaker, there are no starter. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I have a correspondence signed by Mr. Lansana Dunguya ESQ. This data is dated the 25th April instance. Thank you. And Mr. Speaker, honorable members, with your leave, let me give you the evidence. It says, Your Excellency, Constitutional Review and Appointments for ECSL Commissioner South. Mr. Speaker, that was a reaction to the letter they received from the Secretary. And Mr. Speaker, let me read Section 53, subsection 3 of the Constitution of
Mr. Speaker, point of intervention.
Yes, Honorable Leader, yes, proceed, Honorable Leader.
Yes, the leader has offered to read a letter, and I is checking it out.
No, I did not say I was going to read the letter.
No. You
are a liar, please.
You cannot prevaricate.
No, I have forwarded the letter for your perusal. Please.
Honorable members.
We allow him to proceed with his debate, but he called in to read a letter.
No. I did not say I was going to read the entirety of the letter, sir. I said I have a correspondence which I will paraphrase. I'm still on tape. I'm recording.
Continue.
Thank you. God bless you, sir. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, this clearly shows that they were consulted. And Mr. Speaker, honorable members, Section 53, subsection 3 is clear. It's clear. It says, Mr. Speaker, with your leave, I'll read. Whereby this constitution or under any other law, the president is required to act in accordance with the advice of any person or authority. The question whether he has in any case received or acted in accordance with such advice shall not be inquired into any court. So, Mr. Speaker, the president consulted. And the consultation doesn't say, the law doesn't say, After consultation, the president must adhere to anybody's decision. He has told them, and Mr. Speaker, honorable members, thankfully we have the national chairman who used to be the national chairman and leader while we are in the position. Today, we can even write a formal letter. There was a period they can only call us on phone. The chairman can attest. They can call us, Mr. Chairman, we are deciding on this, so this is the nature of the chairman. And that was also consultation, Mr. Speaker. That is also consultation. And Mr. Speaker, so when our colleagues say consultation, they rely on consultation, I believe they are not just sincere. And this is the sixth parliament. We are happy we are here. And most times I have said in this parliament that the problem is our political parties. We are friends, we are brothers, we understand the laws, we are lawmakers.
The leader is talking. Take your seat. The leader is talking. This is not right.
Honorable Kelly.
Take your seat. The leader is talking.
Honorable Kelly, can you take notes?
What does and what the law has to do is to interpret our intention. We are lay people, we make the laws. And when we say consultation, we did not qualify the level of consultation. And thankfully, His Excellency, the former president, Dr. Edmond, started the constitutional review, which is extremely very good. There was a committee formed. A lot of consultation was done all over this nation. Recommendations were made. A white paper was brought out, but it was not followed. We are also, from the letter received, we also know that His Excellency the President, the Brigadier retired, is also considering on reviewing the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, this is a perfect occasion as members of Parliament to support the government and His Excellency to review the Constitution and correct these grey areas. The fact that the Constitution is not clear on the level of consultation, that is the more reason as members of Parliament why we should support His Excellency on achieving the new Constitution that will stand the test of time. Because if we continue like this, even 20 years down the line, when you have a new president, we will rely on these same provisions of the law. So that is the more reason, honorable members, I'll crave on your indulgence that all of us together as a parliament, we encourage this government to continue with what the last government started by reviewing the Constitution. So we have a Constitution that will speak to the realities and to speak to the current situations of the day. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Appointees, we are wished well. We hope you will continue your good work and you will not disappoint us as a parliament and His Excellency the President. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Leader of Government Business. Honorable Abdul Karim Kabari. Yes. Order. Who is that? Hello? Members of the gallery. Members of the gallery, this is the House of Parliament. This is your house. We cannot close the doors against you. This is your house. You have the right to be here. But when you are here, please observe decorum. What we are doing here is very, very much important. Please. Sergeant Atam, can you please station somebody there? If we hear any voice, to remove that person. John. Thank you very much. Yes, Honorable Abdul Karim Kabari.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, like our employees of the gallery, I want to use this opportunity to say thank you to an uncle who has served this nation, the Honorable Mansour Dubois. Even at his age, when other politicians think it's time to bag money for their retirement, he has given the people of Tonkolimba a polytechnic to train young people. We are proud of those steps. Regardless of the political parties we serve, the peace of Gambia district, you've done great to maintain calmness in Gambia district, and we are grateful. Mr. Speaker, again today, we are looking at a very sensitive matter on the floor. And the Honorable Bombo tried to skew the debate and quoted the document that he failed to read to the last paragraph. In the last paragraph, the Secretary General of the All People's Congress Party said, before the appointment of Edmond Alpha, we were not consulted. And even after, and to prove that we are not consulted, the letter he referred to was on the 25th of April. We interviewed Mr. Alpha after the 25th of April, and at the committee stage, I wish my colleague on the other side would have brought forward the letter from the president and the letter he referred to as his supporting document for the claims he's making. But as we've always said in this world, he was fortunate to be here when SPP Dumbuya was speaker, and he taught him to say to yourself, be truthful. That is deception to this house. And he owes an apology. The Honorable Deputy Leader owes an apology.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable AKK, I was going to raise that. The guided.
I'll choose my words because I am referring to the Deputy Speaker. Had it been somebody else, the Deputy Leader, had it been somebody else, maybe I would have said worse. Because he said more than that to us. He called us insincere people.
Okay,
we are people of integrity.
Mr. Speaker, the report that was sent to this House was the 18th sitting of the committee on Thursday, 9th May 2024. And the letter I cited was dated on the 25th of April 2024. This correspondence came even before the 18th report, even before the 18th interview was concerned. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, for the edification of this House, the letter you referred to is right before me, and I've sent it to the President.
Mr. Speaker, you said you don't have the letter.
No, you shared the letter. You shared the letter. I have a copy.
You just shared it.
No, I have a copy now.
Mr. Speaker.
Hold on, let me hear Honorable Lamin. Yes,
Yes, Mr. Speaker. This is a house.
Forget it, don't give me respect.
This is a house of voted members of Parliament representatives. The statement coming from the opposition whip that if it was not the deputy leader, he would have said something more than that. I mean, we don't expect him to say that. He's being the leader. We don't expect him to say that. We expect him to choose his word carefully in the House of Representatives.
Honorable members, we still have time for serious matters today. Let's be ready. Mr. Speaker, sit down.
Honorable AKK, when I tell you to be guided, I expect you to withdraw that part.
We are not here to play. And I don't want to have a special limit. My uncle is here. Please, let him have a copy of
Let's go to Mr. Speaker. It says no member.
Forget that we are directly in the face of the gallery. We are directly in the face of the gallery.
And that is why we are very careful with our words.
And the gallery uses whatever we do here to accord respect to members of parliament. Of course, we all have this thing about respect to members of parliament. Also, we are not comfortable with the respect accorded us by members of the public. So when we are in their face, we choose our words so that they don't go out there and replicate whatever we say.
Mr. Speaker,
so please withdraw that one.
I take the key from you, Mr. Speaker.
Withdraw specific.
What to withdraw? That's the problem. I have said many things. Which one should I withdraw now?
The one where you said you could have said more.
I have not said anything. I have not said anything. I would have said more. Meaning I would have described, I would have defined what is society meant. I have not said anything.
Okay.
I wish.
So,
Mr. Speaker, I will on it, but I haven't said anything.
We take it that aspect is properly withdrawn.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you.
Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker. Remove that bit from the record. Proceed.
Mr. Speaker, I'll forward this letter to you, but I just want to say, in the second to last paragraph, our Secretary General said, we were not consulted. And we held the meeting, this letter came before the meeting was held. And up to yesterday and this morning, we had a consultation and we made it clear that our party has not been consulted, which is a constitutional violation. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the honorable member from the other side, the leader was saying, the man from ECSL is being appointed again by the president for a job well done. When I was young, I always look forward to be commended for a job well done. Yes, I'm a very young and fine handsome man. Ask my friend, the Honorable Bullet, he will tell you I'm still young and fine. So, when he says he has done a very good job, that's a very good commendation. When he said he has done a very good job, that is something the nation should be celebrating. When you say you have done a very good job, that is something that should bring us accolade as a nation. When you said you have done a good job, that is something we should be proud of as a nation. But guess what? Today, the very good job has landed us into a tripartite. The very good job has landed us into international condemnations. The very good job has deprived us of the FCC. So all the recommendations of the United States are hanged upon the tripartite. That is a good job of the neck. That's how good the job is for ECSL. Mr. Speaker, a few months ago, we had our Liberia counterparts here. We're all proud of them. We saw when they did good jobs, how they were commended around the world. We saw when they did a good job, how today they are the beacon of hope for Africa. That's how good our job should have been. But today, you say they've done a good job. And see what that good job has landed us. Even before the report of the tripartite is coming out, some of us are worried now, Mr. Speaker. Some of us are very worried. It is an agreement the president sent somebody to sign on his behalf and own up to. It is the agreement that was presented to the president and told us all the recommendation is going to accept. It is a document that had a TOI that was presented in State House. In case you want to know what the tripartite is, that is what it is. It is a document that calls for national unity because ECSL has messed up this nation. It is a shame that people who participated in that mess could come forward and say they want to be elected. It's a shame.
Yes, the Speaker, point of order. Yes, when we are making reference to the text of the document, we have to act with it. The tripartite has nothing to do with the action or activity. The Commissioner correct. They will not be examining actions taken at election. But the process is led to election. You cannot say the tripartite has messed up Sierra Leone.
We cannot have debate. We have to take the debate.
Thank you very much, Honorable. Let's proceed.
I have no doubt in your capacity to defend the SLPP. Wait for your time.
I respect you.
Please wait. I respect your opinion. But even when he tried to defend what he's saying, he said it is meant to examine electoral practice processes. I know he's in charge of that. ECSL. That's the mess up. Don't defend what is not defendable. Give out rest. This is not the court where you have a judge on your side. Oh yeah, we express our views. Yes. Mr. Speaker, honored members, you know, if we can go to tripartite, we have an agreement. We talk to ourselves on a daily basis. We talk on issues surrounding this nation. We talk about issues that affect us as a nation. We talk about the economy. We want to build a resilient economy. We talk about everything. Even in our social life, we talk about football. SO2 some of them, they even talk about granite. What is so difficult to consult a political party? Yes, we say we want to work together. Where is the unity? The constitution is not saying we need to approve as a political party. It only asks that we should be consulted. And the president is not tied by our recommendation as a political party, but it's called for us to be consulted. I am sure in the spirit of the constitution, it was meant for us as political party to continue to intertwine, to have a point where we sit and talk on national issues. SO2 boy, we tell we say they don't count first. For talk to we, for what we talk to we say, nine this whole thing. If I do the appoint Edmond for SO2. Now no more we need for them. We spent 3 weeks at the appointment committee. We have not been consulted. That's what we said. Even at this report, you know, there is honesty in this report. It is never included that the APC was consulted. No, it is not. It is not in the appointment report. That's how sincere those who did this report were. So if it is so, what was so difficult to come and interface with us? Inclusion, national inclusion. Just consult us. And Mr. Speaker, just a few days ago, I listened to the president in Bo, and I think I listened to him very well. If you bring bullets, you meet bullets.
Mr. Speaker, the gallery is disturbing.
No, that is their vote. What I know is they are here to be educated on issues. So when they applaud what you're saying, we should not shout at them for that. When they are on social media, they listen to other people. They have the opportunity now to listen to their representative. They are our bosses. When the president was saying bullet for bullet, I am sure he's saying if somebody brings bullet, he'll meet my friend. There is no way any political party in Sierra Leone could want coup or bullets. No political party. We are a political party. Because there is democracy. We are a political party because there are elections. And as the All People's Congress, let me echo this again. We will not support anything that looks like coup or dissolving the
let me reiterate this. That as a political party, the APC, there is no way we can support coup. There is no way. There is no way we can participate in a coup. As a political party, we exist because there are institutions of democracy. And the APC is one short institution. But why are we worried when the president made his statement in Go? We live in a situation in which we have trigger-happy police officers. We live in a society where the military officers take opportunity of every given opportunity. And when the president makes short statements, it has a tendency to lead to genocide. It has a tendency for us to be wiped as opposition members. I am saying this with all sincerity.
Honorable AKK. Honorable AKK. Honorable AKK, that should not be coming from you.
Mr. Speaker, this is getting too much.
Noted.
That should not be coming from you.
Noted. I am expressing my fears. I am expressing my fears.
And you know the rules of debate. That's it.
I do.
You know the rules of debate.
I do. And I guide it. He made a statement directly.
And as a leader, you are a leader of the Republic of Sierra Leone. As a leader, that should not be coming from you.
Mr. Speaker, let me say this.
Even if
Mr. Speaker, I am not arguing with you in any way.
Hold on.
People have not understood what I said.
Hold on. That is extremely out of order. Honorable AKK, I'm afraid I'm not going to allow you to continue.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, point of order.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes, leader.
Mr. Speaker, our president is member of Parliament by constitutional provision. And of course, we don't have the discussion of who before us. 32.5 is out of context what you have used. I said you have made your ruling. It's absolutely irrelevant what you have said based on 32.5. There is one final point. Because he's a member of Parliament. That's implying improper motive. That is 32.8. 9. Let me read that provision. No member shall input improper motive to any other member. And he's a member. We are expecting that he did not call name. We have listened to the audio. And watched the video. So we have made a ruling, but let us mind ourselves and let us tone down. Let us tone down. We know the happenings around us. We started from August 10. Point of order. We started August 10. We came down to, we started at Tumbo sometime in July. We came back to August 10. We came down to November 26. These things are not happening from space. It is happening around us. So based on the provision we have in the Constitution, to the security of the state, paramount to the president, because he's charged of securing his citizens. So I'm calling on my colleagues to refer to the president as the Islamic community of genocide. I request, mainly with your ruling, that he must, with your appeal, that he let you withdraw that word. It's not proper.
Clerk, remove that totally from the record.
Mr. Speaker, before you rule on this matter, I think I have made myself clear. And I made series of statements before concluding on that paragraph. So before you ask for it to be responded,
Honorable can rule that I will not be allowing you.
No problem.
So please.
My question still stands.
Please sit down, please. Yes, Honorable Selu.
Mr. Speaker, I made a request, but you are not true. I made a request that
I've ordered for it to be exposed.
But I also asked him to withdraw this. His statement made was not honorable.
That deal with that.
Thank you.
Let it be exposed. Clerk?
Yes, sir.
Take note of that. Honorable Senator.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Some
Speaker.
statements can be very dangerous, huh?
Mr. Speaker, honorable members.
Honorable.
Yes, I want to thank His Excellency the President for appointing these fine nominees, reappointing them for the second term. Like my leader said, you can only be reappointed if you're doing your first term, you perform extremely well to the satisfaction of your boss, and that's what the President has just done by reappointing them again. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I don't want to bore the House. I want to go straight to the burning issue here this afternoon, the reappointment of the Southern Region Electoral Commissioner. In the 5th Parliament, all of us, most of us that are debating currently, we are here in this House. Same issue came up about consultation. And the constitution itself is silent on the protocols or the mode of operandi during the consultation. If you are going to write a letter, which form is going to be consulted, you are going to be consulted, nothing like that. It's vague in that area. And we and all those in front on the other side, we are here as members of Parliament and we approved Mr. Edmond Alpha for the Southern Region. So for me, coming again to say the same consultation in the 5th Parliament has rolled over to the 6th Parliament with the same nominees, even if at the end of the day, the President wants to reappoint another electoral commissioner again, it's going to come out. This same issue after they will raise it again. And for me, when the then Speaker was here and the leadership on that side, we all agreed here that the consultation at that level, they were informed. So consultation, it now left with you to acknowledge whatever communication they might have communicated to you. But for us to say we are not consulted, and this has been a burning issue, and when the leader stood up, we are here in the 5th Parliament, he was an ordinary member like us, and today he has graduated to be a leader. That goes with a lot of responsibility, sir.
Honorable Selu, don't address your colleague. Proceed with your debate.
Mr. Speaker,
don't make reference to him.
No, I am not making reference to the issue, sir. Because to whom much is given, much is expected, Mr. Speaker. By the time I will graduate to sit in the front bench there, I will know exactly what I will not behave the way I'm behaving right now. Although I'm a member of Parliament, but when you graduate from here to this point, it means a lot, sir. That goes with a lot of responsibility. You have to be mindful of even the words you say now, because you're not an ordinary member, you are a senior member of this House. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, even for us to come here to debate the issue of nominees, and we are importing issues that are not relevant to the discussion about tripartite, that itself is insincerity, Mr. Speaker.
Proceed. Honorable if you do not proceed, I will stop you. Relevance. We are here to approve the nominees.
Mr. Speaker, I take the cue. I take the cue to approve the nominees, but I just want to lay the record straight because we are before the gallery and in front of camera. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, for me, as far as the constitutional provision is concerned, Section 32, our government is in no violation of the reappointment of Mr. Edmond Alpha. There is no constitutional law here. We are doing everything in the spirit of the law and within the confines of the law. I think the constitution is the chronon of this country, and nobody in his or her right sense will violate that at any point. So, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I think we'll roll over this discussion time and time, we'll get nowhere. So, for me, as a member of parliament representing the ruling party, I think we have to do the needful by approving these nominees. The two, they were unanimously approved, and when it comes to Mr. Edmond Alpha, let's do the needful. If it comes to push comes to shove, we'll do the rightful things for him to be approved. We have the numbers to do that. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Aaron. Honorable Salu. Honorable Engineer Tembe. After Honorable Engineer Tembe, Honorable Ibrahim Bari.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for according me the opportunity to add my voice to today's debate. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, Honorable Engineer Falatenga is my name from Kailaun District. Mr. Speaker and honorable members, arrayed before this honorable House of Parliament are fine appointees. No wonder it has pleased His Excellency today that they are here for approval. And that is partly because they've distinguished themselves from various spheres of life. They've worked very hard in ensuring that the celebrations they receive today is well meant. The celebrations they receive today accords them the quality they deserve. Mr. Speaker, on that note, as I wish them all well, may I comment on a few things about them. I'll zero in on Mr. Gombi, who is working at the ACC. Mr. Speaker, when his CV was read, there is no doubt that this fine appointee has the temering tenacity to perform his functions to the best of ability. Mr. Speaker and honorable members, he is a fraud examiner. You know, when we talk about corruption, you have people who are experts in fraudulent conversions. So this man has got the ability, he has got the qualifications, he has got the experience to be able to detect those criminals. So if we have such a person in this honorable House of Parliament as an appointee that is going to fight with a view of salvaging the country in terms of corruption, we must say kudos to President Bill. Mr. Speaker and honorable members, let me also now briefly talk to the next appointee, who is none less a person but Mr. Manso Dumbuya. Sorry, Honorable Manso Dumbuya, he has once been a member of Parliament. Mr. Speaker and honorable members, there is this saying that good leaders must encompass maturity, semantic dexterity, clairvoyance into academic vicissitude. This is such a appointee that we are referring to. Mr. Speaker and honorable members, Mr. Manso Dumbuya is a political Ronaldo of our time. Mr. Speaker and honorable members, gone are those days down the Port Authority when things were haphazard. With the appointment of this fine appointee in front of here today, things are in the right direction at the port. things are exponentially in the right direction. Now you see development. Now you see the orderly nature of how our port is. If we want to compare it way back when our big brothers, our small brothers were in power. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I will briefly or as well talk or debate on Mr. Edmond Alpha. You see, I'll do myself injustice if I fail to react to a comment that was made by one of the honorable members on the other side. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I am from Kailau district. The name Kailau is synonymous to politics in Sierra Leone. Way back, I wouldn't want to go into the details of things, but over 300 polling stations were cancelled. So, Mr. Speaker and honorable members, our duty here today is not to talk about politics, but is to describe our new appointees with a view of ensuring that they go into their offices and start doing their job. To you, my appointees, of course, it is because of your hard work that you are here today. At this point, we want to share a few things. Sierra Leone is in urgency to move forward. Politics is politics. But it is often said the hottest part of hell is reserved for those whom in terms of politics reserve neutrality. And that means, in essence, we are all politicians. But now, why are we into politics? We are into politics because of bread and butter. President Bio has achieved a lot. I will enumerate a few successes that I want you to work very hard to sustain. When we maintain them, I promise you APC will permanently be in opposition. Firstly, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I would like to implore my appointees to pay attention to Operation Feed Saloon. That is what is going to transform Sierra Leone into whatever developed countries that we are talking about. Please pay attention. When you are at the ACC, make sure you fight corruption so that the Feed Saloon project will succeed. Going at the Port Authority, make sure whatever thing that comes in is duly whatever things that comes in, whether from overseas or whatever part of the world, meets the required people with a view of implementing whatever project that people will be undertaking or executing in time. And also youth empowerment. President Bio has done very well. Today, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, you go to most of the ministerial offices, they are manned by youth leaders. Our ministers, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, happens to be my classmate. He's a young man, carried a very big portfolio. So youth empowerment is very important. I implore on you to pay attention. That's one of President Bio's successes. He has really worked very hard to ensuring that youth are empowered in Sierra Leone. And also, human capital development, of course, has a thin line between youth empowerment. And that thin line that is between the human power, the human capital development, is what you people should try to play around with. Take the integral of whatever thing that you think can serve as a nexus to ramp up development in Sierra Leone. On this note, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I have no iota of doubt that our appointees are fine appointees. They have seen it all. They have distinguished themselves, as stated earlier, from their various spheres of life, ranging from expertise, professionalism, etc., etc. On that note, I call on us all to approve them as quickly as possible so that they can start doing the job of President Liu and the job of Thank
you. Honorable Ibrahim Barry. After Honorable Ibrahim Barry, Honorable Tambakeli.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Honorable members, as we are here today to debate on the approval of the 3 nominees, I will focus on the proposed electoral commissioner during this critical time, Mr. Edmond Sylvester Alpha. And before I proceed, I would like to draw the attention of this House, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, to the Agreement for National Unity Resolution 3, dated on the 16th and 18th of October, that the committee will be informed by previous election with a view to highlighting and addressing the contentious issues of elections and result management, including the collation, including the verification, including authentication and publication of electoral data, consistent with international best practice. This was the National Unity Agreement paper signed by this government, the SLPP government, the All People's Congress, and then with a space for us to also have a chairperson from the international community. The reason for the establishment of this committee was simply because Sierra Leone's recent election did not meet the standard of international elections. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the proposed commissioner, Mr. Edmond Sylvester Alpha.
Hold on, honorable Barry.
Mr. Speaker, point of order. Mr. Speaker, I was part of that process at Mintumani, but that's not the point. It's very clear in the Electoral Act 2022, passed by this very House. If you agree with elections, you go to court. The question I want to have my colleagues, for the sake of sanity, to avoid all of these explanations going back and forth, did they go to court to challenge the elections? I'm addressing Mr. Speaker, not you, sir. If you don't go to court, let us address the question we have to approve the nominee. But it's injurious, Mr. Speaker. You know very well. It's an assault on the reputation of the nominee we have. We have to stop this. Thank you.
Thank you, leader. And it is exactly what you have requested that I'm doing, to approve the nomination of one of the nominees, who is Mr. Edmond Sylvester Alpha, who already is not a new person to the Electoral Commission. Mr. Edmond Alpha was part of the leaders of the Electoral Commission.
Mr. Point of order again. Mr. Speaker, point of order.
Honorable Barry.
Yes, sir.
Because a point of order has been raised,
yes, sir,
related to a particular issue.
Yes, sir.
Move away from that.
All right, thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, I think this is a debate. And our colleagues on the other side have ample time to respond. If you don't want us to debate in this debate and you don't want us to raise issues, we can as well sit down as opposition and say nothing. But if you have to interject and when you speak issues, then it's not a debate. Let's allow the debate to go on.
We cannot just allow the debate to go on. Like I said, we are in the face of the gallery.
And that is why we should
It is only appropriate that the correct information is given to the public.
Mr. Speaker, that is a debate. My wrong information should be responded to by the right information.
No, leave that
but if you don't allow us to talk, then this is not a debate.
Leave that to me.
It should be a debate.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Thank you so much. I've moved away from that. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, on the proposed approval of Mr. Edmond Alpha, who is one of the electoral commissioners. Mr. Speaker, according to 3 credible election observer groups, please permit me to reference these things. The reason I'm referencing these things, Mr. Speaker, if I want to come to this house again for second time, you will reference, the people will reference what I did for these first 5 years. So before we approve Mr. Edmond Alpha, we need to reference what his participation in the electoral commission.
Honorable, now listen to me.
Yes, sir.
Now listen carefully. You see, even as I sit here, it is for me to hold the balance. Your party, your political party, was represented on the Committee of Appointment and Public Service, and they took part in the interview of Edmond Alpha. Let me tell you what the issue about Edmond Alpha is. The issue around Edmond Alpha is consultation and nothing else.
And that is where I'm landing.
So,
this is where I'm going to land. Please permit me, Mr.
Don't bring in any other. Don't bring in any other extraneous factor. The issue around Edmond Alpha,
Mr. Speaker,
is consultation.
Okay, this is where I am going to land, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah, please hold your hand.
We are not consulted. The All People's Congress, we have not been consulted. And Mr. Speaker, always remember, let us make this clear. If they want to stifle our position in this, we as the All People's Congress, we are not going to participate in the approval of Mr. Edmond Alpha, because Mr. Edmond Alpha participated in the sham election of 2023. We as the All People's Congress, if you want to stop us from making those points, we are not going to participate. There are evidences, there is a report from the Carter Center, there is a report from the European Union, there are credible reports. We are not going to participate in the approval of Mr. Edmond Alpha.
Thank you very much. Honorable Sambateni. Gallery, but we don't talk to una. As we don't talk to una, say what you will do now, yeah? Una just take for listen. Una don't take part for this debate. Una just listen to what you happen now, yeah? Una don't get right or make comment or for holla or for even say anything. Do you have just sit down quiet and listen? We are a big una. Let the members of Parliament who have been elect, let them do their work. And the members of Parliament that are all the one who are so they're able to talk enough for them. So we are don't take back, yeah? Honorable Tambakeli.
My name is Tambakeli from Kono.
Mr. Speaker, I'm going to dilate on the 2 provisions that were cited, Section 32(3) and Section 53(3) of the Constitution. First and foremost, I would like to thank the leader of government business for his candor in citing Section 32(3) relating to the provisions on consultation, without any attempt by him to embellish those provisions. He cited those provisions verbatim. Mr. Speaker, the intent of those provisions of consultation is to give leaders of the political parties an opportunity to see what characters are going to constitute this Congo called ECSL. And for very good reason. They play a very critical role in the democratic process of this country. Now, the essence of the consultation is not to tell His Excellency who to appoint or whom not to appoint. As I said, it's clearly to give them an opportunity to assess the characters. At the end of the day, there is nothing to prevent the President
from insisting on his nomination or on his appointment. But consultation, as our leader said, it's in the spirit of cooperation, camaraderie. So as a nation, we come together, we look at the candidates, and whatever views we have won't stop His Excellency from going ahead with his appointment, though the views of our leaders will not be discounted. So that's the essence of the consultation. It is not really to stifle or to say, no, the president cannot appoint whomsoever he wants to appoint. Now, on section 53, the deputy leader of government business interpretation was erroneous. That provision envisages the situation where the appointment is challenged in the court of law. Well, that is not the case here. We are saying in this parliament that the APC as a party was not consulted. And that is a fact. Even the letter he was referring to, there is a passage where the Secretary General made it very, very clear that the party had not been consulted. And consultation is not a difficult thing to do. It can be done in a variety of ways. Telephone conversation, letters, etc. Just to give the satisfaction to the opposition, to the leaders, that yes, this is what the president wants to do, and what are your views. Those views can be discounted in the final analysis. But the idea that His Excellency can avoid those provisions, and then we sit here and say, oh, it's all very right. I don't think that is correct. Mr. Speaker, I don't think it is correct. Because the Constitution, as was mentioned by somebody, is the law norm, the fundamental law of this country. And it is above every other authority in this country, the Constitution. Every authority, the ECSL, the proposed nominee, all the powers are derived from the Constitution. The moment we begin to tinker with the Constitution, we begin to play hide and seek with the Constitution, we are collapsing the very fundamentals of our system. So, Mr. Speaker, this is my own contribution. That consultation was not done, and we don't take any lead to it.
Honorable Bandi, after Honorable Bandi and Honorable Kemokai, then Honorable Mohammed Alpha Jallo. Is he here? Okay. Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, we are here today to talk about 3 citizens, very good citizens I refer to. But I want to take it one after the other. Let me start with the anti-corruption guy, Mr. Gobi of anti-corruption. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, this is a man up to this moment I'm speaking to you. We are friends, but I never knew which political party he has ever voted for. I must tell you that with every amount of sincerity. But how did I know Mr. Ngomi? In 2017, when I contested, I wanted to come to Parliament. But before that, I was a teacher. I resigned in 2015. Somebody called Sheikh Almami Kamara, based in Rukupu, teaching at Ahmadiyya Primary School, Robert. When I resigned, he stole my name and established an account to Sierra Leone Commercial Bank in Port Loko, called himself Kekura Bandi. Very interesting. I noticed this and I reported the matter to Ministry of Education and Accountant General. To cut long matter short, I had serious battle in my constituency. My people thought I was on payroll. You know, the matter was investigated by the national officers, the Secretary General. Of course, he was a legal man that advised me to go how to go about it. But one of my opponents wrote a letter to anti-corruption and complained that Honorable Kekura Bandi that they want to award Simo to was on payroll. And down there, out of 67 votes, I got 49 votes. So it was a landslide victory for me in my constituency. So that was the only way they wanted to fight. And Mr. Gobi there requested the Secretary General that he wants to see one Kekura Bandi. He made to understand he's on payroll. I was called from Bo. I met him in his office in Freetown here. You know, when I came, I went there, I said, I'm asking for Mr. Gobi. He was not friendly with me at all. They said, we have to put all other things aside. We have to follow the laws of the land. The law says if you are on payroll, you need to have resigned 1 year before elections. If you have been on payroll, I have evidence here that you have been on a payroll. We are not going to allow we are not going to allow your party to award the symbol. And I explained to him, I removed my own document, I gave him. All this Sheikh Albami Kamara, the form he used to establish the account in the name of Kekura Bandi was misplaced before him. And he contacted Napoleon Nkrumah, the National Secretary General. Napoleon explained to him. And one of our legal advisors of the party at that time, Lawyer Brewer, was also consulted. Lawyer Brewer explained to him. He did not still believe. Mr. Gobi took upon himself and went to Bo, Commercial Senior Secondary School, where I used to teach, where I had my PIN code, to inquire if I did resign on the 4th of August 2015. So that tells you he's a man who believed in due diligence. And during their tenure, himself and Ben, during their tenure, we know what the anti-corruption has done for Sierra Leone. So his reappointment is a big gain for us, all of us, if we want Sierra Leone to grow from strength to strength, from where we are to a better level. So Mr. Gombi, I want to thank you so much. And I want to claim on your indulgence. You do not favor people at all. That's what I know you for. Go back to that office and continue your good work. After that, I will come to another political guru, Top Up. Top Up, I admired him. I thought he was always strong in Freetown. The other day, I was in his home, where he constructed the tech folk Honorable AKK made mention of just now. One thing I noticed that day, he's indeed a politician, a grassroots politician. His people exploit his generosity seriously. I admired him. And when he knew that I'm a honorable member of parliament, a city honorable member of parliament, honorable member, guess what? I was honored in that gathering. SO2, he said, honorable, I get one vote for you, one about Tapamai. Of course, he did that. He did that. So Paul, we say thanks to you. And that is what we want our politicians to be doing. You have to be a grassroots politician. Most people that are appointed to bigger positions, big positions, if this government was not voted for you, you will not get that position. But most of them fail to go down to their people. They do not even know the party structure. I was in one office 2 weeks back. One of the national officers was molested by one of these appointees. Yes. And I jumped into the fight. Serious one. So, Top Up, we crave your indulgence. Continue your good work. And I know, of course, we know how the water key is now. It's not business as usual at all. There's been an improvement, massive improvement. There's no doubt about it. Go and work with your team, make Sierra Leone proud. And maybe the last speaker is Mr. Edmond Alpha. Another interesting thing, Mr. Speaker, I want you to know, honorable members. When I was awarded symbol, when my name appeared on the board list as O2, after the Honorable Bashir Siliki, I am number 2 on the board list. I had some things I wanted to discuss with Mr. Alpha. And I called him on the phone, Mr. Alpha, I want to have personal. He said, honorable member, these are not times for personal discussions. He said, what do you want? You can either text me or you can speak to me on phone. He said, personal discussion after election, we'll do it. I started saying, who's kind man this SO2? Oh, this might not allow self a lot of me personally. That tells you he did not want to prejudice. He did not.
Hold on, Honorable Wande. At this point, let me also take this opportunity to recognize the presence of certain eminent personalities that we have here this afternoon. One is Mr. Patrick Sandy. Patrick Sandy is the Director of Public Relations at the ACC. And we have Mr. Kwebaya Amara, the Director of Oppostion. You are heartily welcome to the House of Parliament. Proceed.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. So that tells you he's a man that does not prejudice at all. That's what I know him for. And the other day, I wanted something from him, another document, and he referred me, Honorable, go to the office. That is an official function. Let it don't be personal. Go to the office, go and see XYZ person. That is the way most times we expect public officials to behave. Let it don't just be because he's coming from the south, I'm a southern, and I just give him instruction to do something for me, and he do it, unofficially. He's a man of integrity. But Mr. Speaker, before I sit, let me remind you, and I want to remind this House. My colleague there, a very senior MP on the other side, made mention of elections being questioned by international partners, international communities. It's fine. But we also have bigger international institutions that also qualify our elections. But Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the biggest democracy in the world, America. As I speak to you, the city president of America, Joe Biden's election is being contested as I speak to you. As I speak to you, Mr. Speaker. But what did they do? What did they do? They go to court. Mr. Speaker, honorable member, let me also remind you, the most controversial election in the history of the United States in 2002 between George W. Bush and Al Gore. To be specific, in Florida, Miami-Dade and Palm Beach County, it was referred to as Miami-Dade and Palm Beach County. What happened, Mr. Speaker, honorable members? The Supreme Court of Florida ruled that the Miami-Dade and Palm Beach County was to be done manually. And that decision was overturned by the Federal Supreme Court by a simple question asked by one of the Republican judges. He said, how is the Florida law related to the federal law? Which one supersedes each other? The federal law says no manual counting, and the Florida law says there should be manual counting. So when there was a contentious issue that the matter went to court, the Supreme Court of Florida said we are going manually. And when they started the manual counting, Al Gore, it was in the favor of Al Gore. The federal law said, the federal court said no, that is overturned. So the federal law is more supreme than the Florida law. So what I'm saying here, Mr. Speaker, election matters. It is clear in our constitution, the 1991 Constitution, Electoral Act. It is clear that was ratified but also passed by this House. When you are not satisfied with elections, you go to court. Supreme Court is there. On that note, Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you so much. Of course, we go back to history. Christiana, one of the commissioners said that when you are not satisfied, in fact, she did not say go to court. She said go police. Connor is not saying go to police. Alpha is not saying go to police. Go with the Constitution. And I want to assure everybody that the 2023 elections was conducted within the ambit of the laws of Sierra Leone. No law was breached, Mr. Speaker. If laws were breached, then you have the leverage. Broad is the way to Supreme Court. On that note, Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to have a fight on these important elections.
Thank you very much.
After Honorable Kemokai, Honorable Mohammed Al-Fajalo.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I want to join other speakers.
Hold on, our fathers, the paramount chiefs. Our fathers and mothers, are you interested?
Yes.
If anyone is interested, let me know. Yes, proceed, Honorable Tomokai.
Thank you very much.
After Honorable Jallo, I want to listen to the voice of two ladies and we round up.
Okay.
Yes, proceed.
Let me join other members.
Okay, you.
First of all, to thank His Excellency the President for giving us these fine nominees. By the way, they are all fine gentlemen and they have record of service and commitment to this country. And some of us have got no doubt that they are reappointed to serve again and to serve our nation. Elections in this country have been contested in almost all of the elections, from the late His Excellency President Jan Kaba's regime to President Nkrumah's regime and that's President Biyo's regime. By the way, somebody made mention of the action of the commission that as a result of the tripartite, he made mention of that the actions were shameful. Let me draw our attention to the Public Elections Act of 22. The commission cannot do anything on their own. By the way, as members of parliament and as a house that is mandated by law, to legislate, we legislated the Public Elections Act and they acted within the confines of that law. There's nothing different that they did that was outside the Public Elections Act of 2022. So if you say, for example, the result of the action of the ECSL was shameful, you are indirectly saying our actions, to approve the Public Elections Act was shameful as well. You are saying we as members of parliament, our actions we are shameful. So to me, I don't want to tell the honorable member who spoke around that he ought to have known better. But I just want to draw his attention that we approve the Public Elections Act.
You cannot rule this house as a jungle.
Honorable
This house is not a jungle. You rule out other people, you say what they say is insulting. What you have said is worse than insulting.
What have you said?
I said, Mr. Speaker, that we approve the Public Elections Act of 2022 and the actions of honorable members led to the result that we got, the ECSL gave us. There was nothing different that the ECSL did. So therefore, if you are referring to that result as shameful, you are indirectly saying our actions as members of parliament, we are shameful as well. And therefore, I don't want to tell the honorable member that he ought to have known better to have spoken around that.
No, don't you.
Mr. Speaker, that's what I'm saying.
Hold on, let me handle that. Hold on, let me handle that. You have to withdraw that. Clark, explain that particular aspect. Proceed.
I take the cue, Mr. Speaker.
Proceed.
So, honorable members, I want.
Hold on.
Yes, hold on.
I want the neatness of proceedings. We have got a new speaker. I don't want us to continue the same trajectory. There are words that we don't use from the speaker. You can make a submission quietly. Use the word used by my colleague. Let me first start with him. He said, I don't. You don't want to use the negative. That I don't want to repeat that word. My colleague said, when he interjected, he said, don't rule this out like a jungle.
Who said so?
The reason why I brought this up to your attention, we want you to take care of the proceedings. You have all the authority given to you by law. You stand the orders and the constitution. We said, you have told us in your chamber, and let us run this out in decorum. You can make your point without using invective, without going injury to you. Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Leader of Government Business, of course, I know you trust me.
I know very well. That's why I remember.
Nobody can take me for granted. Honorable EPP cannot try it. So proceed.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. On that note, I therefore want to talk to our colleagues on the other side to join us to approve the nominees that are before us. Mr. Edmond Alpha is a very hard-working man. He has worked in our region, and he should be commended, and he should be reappointed to continue, doing good work for this country. He doesn't own the commission at all. He's only doing what is defined in his mandate as a Southern Regional Commissioner. So there is nothing he can do different from what is expected of him. And he cannot generate votes, by the way. He cannot generate votes. He can only preside over what we give them, as electorate. So by the way, I want to join our in-laws, our commandants, SO2, to join us to speedily approve the nominees that are before us so that they can go to the offices to serve the nation and continue serving us. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Kemokai. Honorable Mohammed Al-Fadjan.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I bring you greetings from the beautiful people of Calabar District, the land of milk, honey, and overflowing love. Whilst we have concerns with the reappointment of our nominee for the ECSL, Okay. In the midst of the ongoing discussions on the national dialogue, which is commonly called the tripartite, I want to shift my focus a little bit to the conduct of the ECSL as an institution. With me today here, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I have the results that was announced by the ECSL for the 60%, the partial presidential result. Please, you can let Mr. Speaker and the leaders have a copy. So, in this election's result, Mr. Speaker,
Do you have it in your phone?
I do have it on my phone, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, send it to the group.
I can forward it, thank you.
Send it to the group.
Yes, it's there now. So it's there now, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, honorable members.
Hold on, Honorable Jallo. Honorable members, can you confirm receipt?
It's there.
Please, Mr.
Mr. Speaker,
okay, proceed.
Thank you. So in that election results, that is the 60%, the initial result that was presented by the ECSL. So in that result, you will see gross violation of our intelligence, which is tantamount to the slaughter of statistical probabilities and mathematics. And that gave birth to a new phenomenon called kinematics. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, please permit me to reference few of these numbers. For instance, in Kailaun district, the result states that 407 police stations were tallied, and then the total number of valid vote cars. Mr. Speaker, please permit me. Yes, please.
Honorable Jallo.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Do you actually know why we are here?
Yes, I do. But Mr. Speaker, honorable members, you cannot divorce the appointment of the commissioner from the conduct of the ECSL.
Okay, let me hear the leader of government.
Mr. Speaker, election disputes are settled in courts. To avoid all of these issues talking about elections, Because if you say elections are invalid, the results are null and void. It means all of us sitting here, we are not supposed to be here. When you go to court, you go for specific issues to be addressed. And so you make a reference to a document we don't have. It's making a reference to a document. It's not under questioning for debate. What is
you can have it later?
No, I cannot, because you have turned in that one before your submission to the House. But Mr. Speaker, for the sake of progress, can we confine ourselves to the issue of the approval? Results are different matters. If result of elections are contested, you go to the court. And the court ruling is final for us. That's why we passed the Public Election Act 2022. Thank you.
I don't know why you want to start reading the results.
Because I want to point out certain of the inconsistencies in this result. Somebody just mentioned, the honorable member just mentioned that these results were not generated. I want to prove to the House that these results were generated.
Hold on, let's honorable Rema Kumar.
As the leader of government business rightly said that was part of his presentation, that in the interest of progress. So I stand on that same platform. In the interest of progress, allow the honorable member to land. He has not even landed. And besides, in my current opinion, he is not out of order. There's a presidential nominee here in respect of ECSL office. So issues around ECSL operations cannot be out of order. And in this case of progress, allow him to learn, and then if you have to object, you can object. But he still flag and then just interrupt. That is not in the interest of progress. Allow him to learn.
Mr. Speaker, let me just respond.
Yes.
It's a general statement he made. And he's now going to figures that has to do with the outcome of the results. What we have in front of is an approval of a nominee. Now, if you want,
this is a reference.
I listen to you carefully. I was very quiet. Mr. Speaker, if you are talking about a result that you don't go to court to challenge, why do you want? It's not tenable in this House. We made provision in the Public Elections Act 2022 to challenge election results within a specific frame time. But if you come to the House, you want to read results to us, why didn't you present a result to the Supreme Court? Why do you want us to accept it here?
We just want to point out the statistical inconsistencies because it's a disgrace to this country.
Honorable Jallo,
yes,
I'm pulling you out of order. Because the point is, why do you want to come and present evidence to Parliament?
It's to point out the inconsistencies, Mr. Speaker. And this is the very reason why we are protesting that we are not consulted. Because had we been consulted, we would have presented this evidence to the President. This is the very reason why we are contesting that we are not consulted.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes,
Mr. Speaker, this is a house of rules. I stand on SO 32(5). Mr. Speaker, we are not here debating election results. This is not a court. There is a candidate presented to us for approval. Is the candidate fit for purpose or not? We are not debating election results here. If you have issues with election results, go to the courts. We cannot be doing laws. We cannot be making laws and watching those laws. We did the Public Elections Act 2022 in this House. Your leaders were here. We all did the Elections Act. And we stated clearly in the Public Elections Act that if you are not satisfied with any law, any election result, you go to the Supreme Court. So we are not debating public elections results. Don't embarrass anybody. The candidate is not here to be embarrassed. Is it fit for the job or not? You have your say, but don't begin dragging us to election results as if we are debating results. Thank you.
I'm seeing two leaders up.
Yes.
Please, honorable members, when you see your leaders up, please sit down. I don't need to tell you.
Mr. Speaker,
yes.
Your speakership, unlike the previous speaker, is we participated in the election. And we can endorse that we are sitting there on the mandate of this House. These are House of Rules and Records. The honorable leader, my counterpart on the other side, said, of course, he was make the reference to on the relevance of the debate of the honorable member. You and I know
that the honourable member is well protected and well confided in the context of the debate in which we are here. The honourable member of Congo mentioned about election in the US. He made several references. There's no election that pertains the US before us. But because you're trying to make a clear as to why we should have put information as election, he made reference and he didn't make any comment.
Now, you see,
Mr. Speaker,
honourable
when
members,
now this has to be raised, I know what I'm going to start. Let's allow the other honourable member to complete his debate.
You see, as I sit here, hold on, you see, as I sit here, honourable members, order. This is my ruling. Honourable members, as I sit here using my conscience. Whatever is right, I will allow. But when things are materially wrong, I won't allow. Now the point is simple. The only reason why the opposition challenged the nomination of the Commissioner Alpha is because of the fact that they said that they were not consulted. All of these issues relating to election malpractice, election this, incompetence, did not come up at the committee stage. All of these issues did not come up. And even when a letter was written relating to him, there was nothing mentioned relating to election malpractice, election miscalculation, and all of that. So I think, as a matter of fact, that debate has to be confined to the issue of consultation. Because when you go beyond consultation, then it becomes totally irrelevant to why we are here. And I sit here with my conscience. And we all know, as members of Parliament, that argument is materially wrong. So therefore I rule you out of order. Please. Proceed.
Mr. Speaker, you know, this is the reason when we point out these things, it is to make sure that ECSL does better, because they can do better. Because what they did is tantamount to this.
If I rule you out of order and you continue, I stop you. Proceed on another line.
Mr. Speaker.
You can mention ECSL, but don't go to results, because those issues were not relevant.
Mr. Speaker,
the commission appointment to get the report to law. And then the debate, you can agree with me that many things have been said from the other side that are completely outside this report. Completely outside this report. That's why we have brought in a report for the consideration of the whole house. There's a difference between the plenary and the commission.
So you want me to believe that things were said
this is not in court. That where the government of players are right to say something about it.
Hold on, you said things were said at the committee meeting.
No, here. Many things have been said from members on the other side. I don't know the report, but they accepted them.
Be guided by 42.
So, this is relevant, Mr. Speaker.
No, be guided by 42.
I know your ruling is better, Mr. Speaker.
Be guided.
I know.
Please.
I'm just saying your record, Mr. Speaker.
Please be guided. When I rule in your favor, you'll be happy. But for now, accept that ruling.
Just in the favor of procedures and law.
Yes, proceed, Honorable Jallo. 2 more minutes.
1 more minute. 1 minute.
Mr. Speaker, I mean, you can distract me all you like. That cannot change the facts. The facts were the elections were stolen. Bottom line. So, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I urge the ECSL to do better.
Honorable Jallo, you can sit down. Thank you. Now, let me hear the two ladies. Yes, Honorable, proceed. After you, Honorable Lolo Tunge. Then, of course, the chairman and Orlando.
Grateful, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me use this opportunity to say Grateful, Mr. Speaker. Let me use this opportunity to say thank you to the most duly elected Speaker of our time and Deputy Speaker, to whom much is given, much is expected. It is no doubt we have sons of the soil. What do I mean? You are battle-tested MPs from constituency level, and now you raise up to this position of leadership in this way. I say congratulations. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, let me go straight to the point, to our nominees here present before us. They are all Sierra Leoneans, and I believe by the wisdom of the president, they've gone through the committee stage and they are here for approval. Let me go to the most spoke about ECSL. What we've done here on the elections of the Speaker tells you this time we are ready to go against any form of impunity, of rigging, because we were here, we voted on the final rounds, and you have 28 votes. To tell you, 128 votes.
More than 2/3.
Yes, sir. To tell you, with our vote, we make you the Speaker. We are grateful.
Including Honorable Roma.
Mine was there too. Mine was there too, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
To tell you,
You got the highest vote any speaker got it.
so to tell you, we are not against you, but we only want to show this world and Mr. Kone that this time come, whatever time for the next election, we will resist the impunity of rigging any form of elections. I want to say again,
That is the 2028.
no problem, whatever the time. We will make sure there is no rigging. Again, let me go to our ECSL boss at the South. I only hope this time you will not disenfranchise the APCians at the South. Because if you check the numbers back then, comparatively to those at the Potloko district, you will, okay.
Yes, yes.
We are honorable members of Parliament. And when you are an honorable, you should behave like one. How can you say you disadvantage APC people in this?
It happened.
How can you disadvantage?
It happened.
Let me learn.
It happened.
From research and you saw the results. Then you don't even campaign.
So I think, honorable member, please be guided.
Thank you, sir. Okay, ECSL boss, I'm wishing you the best in advance. And again, be guided that this time you will do the needful and what is right for the good of Sierra Leone. Because honestly, as Sierra Leoneans by divine, we've raised above region and tribal lines. And nobody will use that veil to destroy this noble nation. Will resist you. And again, to my own tribesman of the Port Authority, Manso Dumbuya. Honorable. I wish you well, and I hope you are aware of the present constraints and the ports, and I believe you will improve the port system. And finally, to the man going to the Anti-Corruption Commission, wish you well again in advance. Hope this time there will be much difference. The teachers will not be targeted. You will go in for real corporates. On that note, Mr. Speaker, let me make this clear. We have only one Sierra Leone. And we've not seen any bullets that comes with an identity card or tells you I have the name of whom I'm going to. And as a woman of this nation, a leader will come against and stand any form of intimidation, any words that will prejudice our peace that we are enjoying now. That does not mean we will not have peaceful elections. Election should be peaceful and not by blood. Let's give Caesar what belongs to Caesar. On that note today, Mr. Speaker, I want to say thank you and congratulations. I wish you well together with the Deputy Speaker in your new office. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I want to thank His Excellency for our 3 nominees. I mean, sometimes I have been saying it times without number, that His Excellency is, is an extraordinary person. Because I actually don't know how he goes around looking for his nominees. I want to zoom first of all on the Commissioner. Southern Region. Mr. Commissioner, I want to recommend that all commissioners in this country have done a great job. I want to actually state out an example to convince our people over there that commissioners in this country are transparent. One thing, as a member, former in the 5th Parliament, I was the first female independent member of Parliament ever in this country, and I beat SLPP and APC. I mean, who does that? If you think these people are not the right people to actually run our elections, it should have been something else. But they are people that we trust. His Excellency, this country trusts. So the results that come out are clean and clear. And I'm sure and I believe that in 2032, when probably you guys, people might be coming into power, call upon them. They will do a great job. I trust you. I want to zoom also on Honorable Manso Dumbuya. Mr. Dumbuya, I admire you. And why do I admire you, Mr. Dumbuya? You are no longer a member of Parliament who is trying to come back to Parliament. Why am I saying this? You came to us and you said beautiful things. The happiness you are putting on the parents in your where you come from, the institutions you have brought up. When I heard you, explaining to us, it was mesmerizing. No, who does that? Except if you are a real patriot who loves his country and want to do something good for the country. Because I believe you don't know how to do that. So all you can do to people is put smiles on their faces. And I bow for you, Mr. Dumbuya. God bless you. I want to also talk a little bit about ACC. Of course, we all know about ACC. You guys have created history. Because in my own entire life in this country, I have never seen an ACC bringing so much money back to this country in the coffers of this country. You have done, we have seen it on life, monies that you brought back to the coffers of our country, in the government. So, I know they are criticizing you people. Whatever you do, you see people left and right criticizing you, trying to diminish you, trying to discourage you. But hey, don't look up to that. Do your job and the whole world knows. Because I remember when I went to Zimbabwe and I gave my speech, and there is a lady from Cameroon. He said, hey, after the end of her speech, she said, I want Africa, Black Africa, to have a bank kefala in every government. I felt so good. That shows the quality of jobs you guys are doing. And believe me, may God bless you and may God continue to give you that vigor, to give you that courage to continue to do good for this country. I thank you very much.
And after the chairman will round up, leader of the opposition, and the leader of government meeting. After the chairman. Proceed.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Chairman, please be brief.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I want to thank His Excellency for giving us very capable and successful men. I'll start by a brief quotation by El Haj Malik El Shabazz.
Hold on, let me at this stage recognize the presence of Mr. Askia Yankuabio. Good to see you. Proceed.
A quotation from El Haj Malik El Shabazz, also known as Malcolm X. He said, "A man's success outweighs his human and personal weakness." A man's success outweighs his human and personal weakness. David committed adultery by sleeping with Bathsheba, but he was remembered for defeating Goliath. Noah was accused of being a drunk, but was remembered for building the ark. Solomon had 700 wives, but was remembered for his wisdom. So we are talking about people here who are successful, but they are not perfect. They might have gone wrong. They might have been misconceived what they do, misconceived. But they've been successful. They've been successful in the things they do. That's why we have them here today to be reappointed. I don't have much to say to you. The fact that you're here, you've been reappointed, it means you've done a good job.
The chairman Western area, the leader of government just said something, but we'll discuss that.
It means you've done a good job, and they want you to continue. You've gone through the interview. We're not going to interview you here again. And of course, Mr. Speaker, I'll save you any argument on procedural technicalities. Go again and serve with your conscience, and remember that your actions will have a lot of implications as far as the development trajectory of this country is concerned. So, Mr. Podegobi, you did it before, and I believe you will do it again. And the same goes to Mr. Edmond. But now let me zoom into a father figure, a man of experience, a humble man, a patriot, the pride of Tonkolimba and that of Kambia district, the Honorable Manso Abu. Court authority, I want to consider you very lucky. You have a very young and dynamic leadership, but please adopt the concept of 2 generations, 1 future. What do I mean by that? You're young, dynamic, and you have all the energy and passion, but please tap into the wisdom of the old. These are 2 different generations, but you all one feature, united under the common purpose of development of this country. Make very good use of it. He's a successful man. He's fulfilled. He's contributed meaningfully, tirelessly to ensure that his region becomes more vibrant, makes additional contribution to ensure that his party comes to power, and of course he can boast of having members of parliament in the 5th and 6th parliament. His legacy will live on. Let's learn to acknowledge what people can do for the country. Let's take our lens beyond the political parties, beyond the regions. These discussions will take us nowhere. How long shall we keep this political bickering? The people we are representing will suffer. Colleagues on the other side, we have nominees in front of us. They are good people. They have good intention to serve this country. And I believe we are representatives of the people. We have the opportunity to make a decision on behalf of our people. I crave your indulgence that let's speedily approve these fine nominees because they will do this country. Thank you very much and God bless you. Leader in opposition.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. No, I'm okay. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, in your acknowledgements today, you acknowledged a single individual, of which to me it will be a disservice if I don't comment on that individual before the debate proper. And that is Mr. Quiver Amara. Mr. Quiver Amara was at final honors 1 from the college while I was in year 1 from the college. He went to final honors 2, I went to year 2. So we spent 2 years together. For your information, Mr. Amara used to give me free lectures with no strings attached. In fact, he was never my friend, nor my relative, nor anything. He just saw a poor boy who needs his wisdom, knowledge, and he gave it to me. Mr. Amara, I join my speaker to acknowledge you, sir. Your good works shall follow you. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, indeed, I participated in the interview process of the said nominees, all 3 of them. And during our first engagement, we raised this issue of compliance or non-compliance to Section 32, subsection 3 of the Constitution. It was proven that there was no compliance, and we had a closed door. On that day, it was unanimously agreed that we hold on to the interview process of Mr. Edmond S. Alpha as Commissioner ECSL Southern Province. And then we were waiting for this said compliance to happen. But to our greatest dismay, after about 2 weeks, we convened another committee meeting, of which I was also present. And relevant stakeholders were consulted, including my party was consulted, as to whether 32(3) in respect of the APC party has been complied with. The answer was no. It never happened. And I said to myself, what is the reason for all of this? What is the reason? What harm will it cause if 32(3) is complied with? What harm will it cause to the nomination of Mr. Alpha? What harm? What harm? So I was baffled. Then after that, we had some other roundtable discussions at leadership level. And where we landed, that let us go, let us take it as it is, we go. Anyone who survives, survives. Anyone who is any casualty, that's your fate. Let's go, just as it is. Then I said to myself, well, maybe I will deem it fit to announce, to make an habitual announcement. I have an habitual announcement to make to this honorable house, and by extension to the general public and the international community. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I regret to announce the death of democracy in this country. I regret to announce the death of constitutionality in this country. I regret to announce the death of rule of law in this country. As it is now, whether compliance causes harm or not doesn't matter anymore. What matters now is just to go ahead as it is. Whether it is necessary in that way or not, we just go ahead. And then we go ahead. We know the outcomes. But for posterity, we on this side will make our position very clear. For posterity. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the deputy leader of government business, the seconder of this motion, made reference to the attitude of acceptance or no acceptance for any ECL nominee across the aisle. As long as that person is an ECSL nominee, he made reference to the attitude of acceptance by this honorable house. He made it very clear that whether Mr. Alpha is a suitable candidate or not, whether the constitution was complied with or not, we on this side, we will not accept. That's what he said. But what bothers me most is to why you think you should not accept. Why? That is what bothers me most. And that is my reason for the announcement of this obituary. We on this side, we are unable to accept. We are unable. We wanted to, but we are unable. You know what? We believe we are bound by the dictates of our national constitution. And above all, to God and conscience, and if I'm to be true to myself, compliance to 32(3) of the Constitution does no harm to the chances of Mr. Alpha to be approved. It does no harm. Absolutely no harm. That compliance does no harm. You can still be approved. No harm. But for the fact that members on that side are aware of this, of the zero harm to compliance of 32(3), but nevertheless choose to go ahead. Democracy, I'm sorry for you. You are dead in Sierra Leone. The same honorable member from Go also mentioned and commented about consultation. I feel sorry for him because, he's not a legal practitioner, he's not a legal colleague. But I still take the cue from him that based on the issue definition of consultation, even though that is not the issue here, we've not reached to that stage, but he said, whether you use phone, you write a letter, you send your clerk, all amounts to consultation. I think they do. Okay, fine. But I have an addition, sir. Mr. Speaker, honorable members. The addition is, he enumerated certain steps. That is, you use phone and call. It's consultation. You write a letter and serve. It's consultation. You send your dispatch, your clerk, to pass your oral message. It's consultation. I agree with him. But I have an addition. That under the current dispensation, even if you did none of the above, it is also consultation. Based on the precedent we have. We are setting a precedent that tells us that doing none of the above is still consultation. And as a result, we can go ahead. Fine. Prosperity will judge. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the honorable member, Mr. Bandi, also from Go, made comparison between US elections and Sierra election. And he said, when there was election dispute in United States, what did they do? They chose to go to court. On our own side, we chose not to go to court. We chose the tripartite proceedings that is on now. So my warning, my caution to all of you, and by extension, all Sierra Leoneans, is to ensure that by the time the tripartite comes to a conclusion and give us recommendation, it must be complied with by all concerned. That is my warning. That is my caution. We chose to go to tripartite. Others go to court. The ruling in any case should be final. Yes. No objection. Final. So let's wait. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, Mr. Speaker,
order. SO2. Oh, I don't want that. I don't want to say, waiting to happen here. We're not supposed to contribute there. Now, we don't make that comment just now. We don't make that comment. Mr. Speaker. Proceed, leader.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for your protection. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the report is with all of us, and it is our document as a member of the appointment committee. Mr. Speaker, when I read excerpts of the minutes as pertaining to this report and compare it to the provisions of 32.3, I don't want to say for now where I landed, but with your permission, just extract of the minutes as contained in this report. The minute says, with your leave, sir, it says the 7 ruling SLPP members present claimed they were in receipt of some political parties' acknowledgement that allegedly reassured that Section 32.3 of 1991 Constitution was carried. I said, I will read again with your lips, sir. The 7 ruling SLPP members present claimed they were in receipt of some, underline the word some. They were in receipt of some political parties' acknowledgements that allegedly reassured that Section 32.3 of the 1991 Constitution was carried. Can we read Section 92.3 for the attention of the public with your leave, sir? With your leave. I will read as contained in the report because Section 32.3 was quoted here. So I will read the report direct. It says, the members of the Electoral Commission shall be appointed by the President after consultation with leaders of all registered political parties and subject to the approval of Parliament. They are referencing compliance to 32.3, which says all registered political parties must be consulted. But at the same time, they are giving testimony, written testimony by themselves, that they acknowledge receipt of acknowledgement from some. And then they interpreted that word some to be a satisfaction of 32.3. Mr. Speaker, if we were in private conversation, I would have asked you, how do you see that? How do you see Sierra Leone going? But we are in the House of Parliament.
You want me to respond to that?
You don't need to, sir. But I know you'll be disappointed. I know you'll be disappointed. You'll be disappointed. So, Mr. Speaker, honorable members.
Because what that tells me as a lawyer is that they received some. It is possible other heads of political parties were written to, but they have not received all of those letters, but they don't receive some. So it's neither here nor there. You can write to all of them, but what is in the custody of the 7 MPs was not all, just few, just some of them. That was what they stated. If you ask me, that's what I'll say.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Of course. Of course.
Mr. Speaker, I will be one of the MPs that will frown the most in going into a debate with the right honorable Speaker of this House, for whom I voted for.
Thank you very much.
I will frown at going to debate. I can respond to that, but the debate I will not. I will not.
I know to play again.
Because if you are the person that's
I drop my boots. I drop my boots.
And I cannot wish. That will be treason.
Sometimes
that I wish you have been where you were. That will be treason. I cannot wish that.
I have my boots.
Let's see.
So I will not respond to that, sir. I will just proceed. But thank God, so that I said, be true. If you interpret something to be compliance.
No, Honorable Daniel Kroma, that is not the impression I have. That interpretation, with all due respect, is subjective. The interpretation you are attaching to that is subjective. Because if the report says some were in the custody of the 7 MPs, it does not mean, because in the first place, that letter, by law, is not supposed to be written to the 7 MPs. Anyway, it's not supposed to be written to them. The letter was supposed to have been written to the heads of political parties. But if they are confirming that they have some in their custody, it's not that they are not there. Because they are not supposed to be the recipients in the first place. So whether they have the letters or not, is irrelevant to me. What is important, what I want to know is whether or not the heads of political parties were written to. That is the crux of the matter. Not whether 7 MPs had the letter or not. In fact, that is irrelevant to me. But what I want you to address me on is whether or not the heads of political parties were written to. Of course, you have said that your party did not receive any letter, did not get any consultation. Of course, I cannot deny or accept that. But what I'm saying, it is superfluous for members of the SFPP to say that they have some of the letters. It's superfluous. It is irrelevant. Because whether they have it or not, is totally irrelevant to the matter that we are discussing. Because they had no reason having possession of those letters. Because by law, they were not supposed to be written to. So if they got possession of the letters, as far as I'm concerned, they just volunteer. They just volunteer to have possession of some of the letters. What is important, what we should exercise our minds on as lawmakers is whether or not the heads of political parties were written to. That is the crux of the matter. Yes, proceed.
Mr. Speaker, on that note,
yes,
I'm tempted to move that we withdraw this report.
Which report?
The report before us. A superfluous report, a report that is not relevant, a report that is not tenable.
No. You see,
especially the minutes.
Only with an trauma.
The minutes. Of this report.
No. You are getting
the
entire thing. You are getting the entire thing wrong.
Okay.
What I am saying, in that report, they said that some of the letters were in the possession of the 7 MPs. That is the fact I'm referring to.
And that is what is reported here.
So why should you go into matters related to the entire report? Why?
It's part of the report.
If it is part of the report, does that mean the entire report is relevant?
Okay.
I said whether they stated in that report the receipt of those letters by the 7 MPs or not is not relevant. Whether they receive it or they do not receive it, because that is not the dictate of the law. The law dictates for the letter to be written to the heads of political parties, and you are taking me way around some other issue.
So that goes, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
If the irrelevant portion of this report does not have anything to do with the entire report, entirety of the report, but you agree with me, of course it was provided by you, that this particular irrelevant report I have just mentioned is superfluous. It's
irrelevant report.
It's untenable.
Irrelevant report.
That is what we not the report.
Not the report.
I said this particular portion.
Then I think you are a seasoned lawyer, not so?
I said
you are a seasoned lawyer.
No, Mr. Speaker, let me laugh.
No, you are not landing because you are taking the entire thing out of context.
No, sir.
If they tell you that the seven members of Parliament were in possession of some of the reports, of some of the letters, how relevant is that to your argument as to whether consultation was done or not? How relevant is that?
Okay, I will answer you.
That's not relevant.
It is relevant to me because the statement says 7 members of SLPP are in receipt of some of the receipt from some political parties. They are in receipt of acknowledgement from some political parties. As opposed to the section they refer to, which says it should not be some, it should be all. That is my point, sir.
Now the question is,
it should be all, not some.
Now the question is, are those letters required to be written to the members of the committee?
Yes, sir. They are supposed
to the members of the committee.
As
the members of the committee.
Mr. Speaker, when I stated in my preamble, I said we first met. After the first meeting, we found out that 2-3 was not complaining. Direct call was made to state house. In my presence, the leader of government business made call direct. And then the SP confirmed to him that, oh, Mr. Honorable Member, we forgot, we did not do that one. So as a result, because of that non-compliance with 32.3, sitting was adjourned. Mr. Edmond Alpha's interview was put on hold. And that is exactly the issue here. So on the second meeting now, when this report was prepared, this is what the 7 MPs, this is what has been written in respect of the 7 MPs who have not received from some. My issue is they have not received from some. And then they reference compliance to 32.3, which says it should not be some, it should be all. That is my point.
Now let me tell you, whether they received the sum or they received nothing at all, is not relevant to your argument. That's what I'm saying. Because your argument, as far as I know, is to the effect that your party was not consulted. Not so?
No party.
You cannot speak for other political parties. You said your party was not consulted. Not so? So limit your argument to the position of your party. That your party was not consulted. That is the relevant aspect I want to hear. So whether your party was consulted or not. Because if your party was not consulted, that is what is relevant here. That is the argument that is relevant. Don't be the devil's advocate for other political parties. That's the question that we should be exercising our minds on. That's what I'm saying. In any case, proceed.
Mr. Speaker, I take the cue because I want to proceed.
Yes.
I take the cue.
Thank you very much.
That in our report, I said earlier that we had some exchanges. At leadership level, at committee level, we had some exchanges. And even in this very minute, it was stated that majority of the committee members approved. Okay? But the minority, which represent the APC members of the committee, did not approve. It's in the report, in this minute. And at the end of the day, it's also in this report that we asked for a minority report. We informed the House, when I say the House, I mean the committee, that we intend to prepare a minority report. Based on certain exchanges, I wanted that minority report to be read, together or soon after the leader of government business had presented his report, but I was ruled out of order outside this house, for which I respect. And as a result, you saw no preliminary objection. I would have raised a preliminary objection during the time when no sooner the secondary did the secondary, I would have raised preliminary objection, but I refused based on the orders we receive at leadership level. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, there are 3 nominations. And you would like to know what is our position in respect of all 3 of them. All 3 of them. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, on that note, members want to know what's our position for all 3. On that note, we shall leave. I read just paragraph 1. Paragraph 1 of our minority report regarding all 3.
Point of order, sir.
Hold on, leader. Yes.
I refuse not to interrupt my colleague, especially the leader of the minority party. There is no, I don't know, perhaps we need, with your ruling, that we need edification on the minority report. Because to my knowledge, and the party that you have done, you have not produced any minority report. What you have done for the previous, it is not new what he is doing. His predecessor, Honorable Chairman Manduba, pushed for a minority report. And it was ruled and rejected. And it's told that the position of the order, that's why the clerk states that the APC members went against the reappointment of Edmond. It's clear in the report. And the minute, if you read standing orders, 76:4 for minutes. Minutes are very clear, explaining how did he come to prepare the report, the issues that we discussed at that particular committee meeting. That's why those things we are stated, talking about the one you're arguing that letters were given to 7 SLPP MPs, blah blah blah, what we have discussed. So I'm expecting my colleague, we are all part of a committee. A minority report comes from if you have a minority sitting, but your position are stated. When you agree, we say unanimous decision. When we disagree, we say break that one. That's what we have done. So he has to tell you or us, where do we have in the provision of this standing order for a minority report in the constitution? If there's a minority report, we can allow him to read that provision. But if there is not, Mr. Speaker, I think it's not telling me. What your ruling is final. But the best practice, we have never done minority report. We have stated the position, and the position is clear. Then we are coming to vote. If he wants, he can put a motion for his own vote. Thank you,
yes, normally I think the position of the minority is stated in the very report. But for the sake of fairness, I will listen to you. I will listen to what you have prepared. But normally it is included in the body of the report, whatever your decision is as a minority party. But I will listen to you for the sake of it, because I know members of the committee are just a subset of the entire plenary.
Yeah,
whatever you did not agree in the committee, when you come to the plenary, it is for us to debate and agree or disagree. So even if you do not agree there, and we come to the plenary and agree, it's final. Because all what you are doing there is just working for the plenary. You are just there working for the plenary. Whatever decision you take there is not final. The decision in the plenary is the final decision. So, but for the sake of fairness, I will just listen to what you have to say.
Thank you very much.
Because eventually, let me inform members of Parliament at this stage. I am going to put two questions at the end of this debate. Two questions. The first question is going to be without Commissioner Edmond Alpha. We'll take him out of the first question before we come to him particularly. That's what we are going to do. That's what we have been doing. So that we try to arrive at the necessary conclusions. Because I know, as a matter of fact, the two other nominees, I'm just thinking aloud, I don't know, probably you have something against them. The two other nominees have no issues. I'm just thinking aloud. So if they do not have any issues, we can get them to go, approve them. Then we come to the question of Edmond Alpha, where if we do not agree, then we go into vote and have the matter concluded. Would that not make all of us happy? Yes, so proceed.
Mr. Speaker, those are words of wisdom. And if you carefully listen, to the point I was about to make, I did not mean the interruption or the point of order raised by the leader of government business. You should not have thought aloud by now. Because I was just about to clear, and then he interrupted. I was about to tell you
the same thing.
I said it, I'm on record.
I did not interrupt. That is not a parliament.
Okay, sorry, sir.
I raised point of order.
Sorry,
permitted me.
I did not mean for his point of order. I did not mean, I'm sorry, sir.
It's all right, it's all right.
I did not mean for his point of order.
Choice of words.
Yes, sir. I did not mean for his point of order. I am on record. I'm on record. I was about to tell you. In fact, even minutes. I repeated it twice. I said you will want to know what is our opinion for all three. I said so. What is our position for all three? I said so. You are permitted. So what I was about to read is to tell you our position for all three. So that will tell you the other two. If there is difference or if there is no difference. And then he raised the point of order.
Proceed.
Mr. Speaker, with your leave. So the members of the All People's Congress in the Committee on Appointment and the Public Service accept the generality of the report.
Sorry, I'm really sorry, sir. Very, very sorry. I'm really sorry. You know, on procedural grounds, you direct us. I'm really sorry, please.
Hold on.
I want to know if you are making ruling on reading a minority report.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not? I rest my case. No, I rest my case. No, thank you.
I've done this. Mr. Speaker. It's just waste of time. Because I told you earlier, I said, based on our discussion outside.
The leader warned you, not so.
No, but sometimes it irritates me. After I've repeatedly said something.
Honorable colleague, when I raise points of order, it's not you I'm looking to directly. I'm calling the attention of Mr. Speaker. So if Mr. Speaker grants me the permission, you have to sit. But you don't say it's just a waste of time. I don't want to say you have to withdraw that. Your tutor you had in the university, he was my junior when I left college when he entered college. He was my boy. I initiated him in the radicals law. If you have respect for him, by an influence, you have respect for him. I'm a junior. He was compiling my notes when I come from lectures. I used to give him my notes to compile.
Mr. Leader from today.
Not just friendly fire, not so friendly.
Mr. Leader from today. The result I had for you, if it was 20%, I would double it to 40%. But now I know you are lecturer of my lecturer. And mentor of my mentor. Yes. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I said it earlier based on our leadership discussion. I was ruled out of order. And I said I respect that. So what I'm reading now cannot represent a minority report. For the records, just take that one. Take that one for the record. It is not minority report. But it's a document to show us our position for all three, whether we are different on all of them or not. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the members of the All People's Congress in the Committee on Appointment and Public Service accept the generality of the report detailing nominees' profiles and interview procedures for the two appointees mentioned as 1. Mr. Augustine Fande Gobi, proposed Deputy Commissioner, Anti-Corruption Commission. 2. Honorable Manzo Dumbuya, proposed Chairman, Board of Directors, Sierra Leone Port and Harbour Authority. And we reaffirm the committee's decision. Underline the word, we reaffirm the committee's decision. And again, recommend their approval. Is there any need for you to think aloud anymore?
You know, I thought as much. I thought as much.
And your instincts are correct.
Yes.
I know you are a man of the spirit. You can never be wrong.
I am man of the spirit.
You are a man of the spirit. No, not at my level. I'm at a higher level.
Hey. Honorable Dale.
You know that
you never know.
I concede, sir. I concede, sir. On that note, people would like to know, okay, you've accepted 2, but rejected 1. Why? Is our right to tell the truth? Why? Number 1 reason, we cannot be part of breach of constitutional provisions.
Please make your notes available to the clerk after everything, huh? Because you have to include that in the votes and proceedings.
All right, sir. Number 1 reason, we cannot be a party to breach of constitutional provisions. The Constitution, 32(3) says, you must serve all political parties. And we on our own side, we were never served. And minus APC cannot constitute the word all. Cannot satisfy the dictate of 32(3) which demands all, not some. APC was never served, and because we were never served, we were never consulted in any way or form, whether by phone, by dispatch, by letter, by anyhow. So we were never consulted. And as a result, we cannot support a process of which we have not been consulted. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, another reason we cannot support the approval process of Mr. Edmond S. Alpha is because
is because
Bank complex, that's what it is.
based on the immediate past national multi-tier elections, international, local, and all sorts of observers raised concerns about irregularities, lack of transparency, and lack of effective communication of the entire process.
Mr. Speaker, point of order again. Yes. I'm the leader, and you're talking about sensitive matter that has to do with international relations and our elections. He said all observers. I don't want him to either to qualify. Is he standing with the word all? Because we have in our possessions organizations that accepted the results. We have. So I just want to know if we are talking about all.
Since you are bossy about the word all and some, why can't you qualify that?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I withdraw the word all. I withdraw the word all observers. And in replacement of that withdrawal, I made a fine research, of which I would like to read paragraph 3, paragraph C of that research. Paragraph C of that research stating our fears, our opinion, our reasons why we accepted the rejected one. People like to know. With your leave, sir. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the APC party strongly shares the views of both local and international observers that the June 24, 2023 multi-tier election were marred with controversies, statistical inaccuracies, and mathematical improbabilities. It also lacks transparency, accountability, and effective communication. It is crystal clear that the nominee in question, among other things, was one of the 6 commissioners who superintended over such irregularities. The party is therefore of the view that this reappointment as proposed Commissioner South clearly undermines the agreement for national unity, which is geared towards the peace-building process and electoral reforms for the future credible elections. Having superintended over the past, I'm reading my research material, which states the position of the APC. And with the leave of your speaker and my speaker, taking into consideration SO42. Mr. Speaker, honorable members. Having superintended over an election of which there are current investigations going on, of which all Sierra Leoneans are expecting a report to be tendered to His Excellency the President for our attention. It is our candid opinion that, assuming all things equal, such a candidate for reappointment ought to have set aside or step aside, at least for now, until those investigations are concluded. It is supposed to step aside at least for now. But having reappointed that individual a day while those investigations are going on, we are here to await the report. Then now
Mr. Speaker, we can talk further again. I'm really sorry. Mr. Speaker, we need to, sorry sir, I'm very sorry. He's a lawyer. I was part of the process of it, man. We removed the word investigation. We contested that language, investigate. Investigation is a legal language. It's a review we use. We use the word review. Mr. Speaker, you know the reason I'm saying this? Even before we went to Bitumani, the appeal for electoral malpractice was far gone. The date was far gone. the time given in the Electoral Election Act, they did not contest the result at the court. So we went on with money thereafter. So there was no litigation issue. We went there, that's why we used the word review. And even those who habilitated us, they were in fact, the man from AU said we cannot use the word investigation. Let us just misinform the people. I was there with the leader of the opposition. I was at the center of the discussion. There is nowhere we use investigation. And the addendum, read the electoral laws again. They talk about disaggregated votes. I remonstrated that one at the committee meeting. There is nowhere in our election laws we have disaggregated votes. We have what to call polling station results. And they challenge us that there is no polling station results published. And we went to the website and used newspaper and gazette. Everything was published. Mr. Speaker, I don't want to go into that. I am just telling you that we are honorable men and women of this house. There is nowhere in that communique we use the word investigate. Investigate is a legal term you know very well. I rest my case again.
Yes, Honorable.
Honorable of my lecturer.
Honorable leader of the
lecturer of my lecturer.
Honorable leader of the opposition. The commissioner, the nominee we have before us, is not under investigation. So there is no reason why he should be set aside because he's not under investigation as an individual. So please be guided.
Lecturer of my lecturer. Thank you for your lectures.
So please be guided.
And for the records replace, investigate with review. The conduct is under review. And as a result, based on our own opinion, if your conduct is under review, awaiting a report to be tendered to none as a president, but the number one gentleman of this country, His Excellency the President, and it's our own opinion that we cannot approve such an individual before the report is tendered, because we don't know the outcome of that review process. Finally, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, you know, sometimes when we dig around the need of this consultation or no consultation, or the word all political parties or some political parties, let me bring this to context. Based on the current political dispensation, you will agree with me under the PR system. The APC succeeded in passing the map. We got the pass map under the PR system. We still have the mandate of the people to represent them here. That is why we are here. So when you are talking of consultation of all political parties, if you have to be true to yourself, a party that has the mandate to participate in the interview and approval process of every presidential nominee, how can you leave that one out? If you are really true to yourself, if you are really nationalistic, especially taking into consideration that including that individual, that political party, does not cause any harm, does not reduce the chances of this said nominee to be approved. It does not reduce his chances in any way or form. But at least for God's sake, we are representing the people. We have the mandate to approve or disapprove. We have the mandate. And that is what we are exercising now. So don't you think, in the interest of good governance, that you make it a point of duty to ensure APC serve at all costs in accordance with the law? Don't you think so? So failing to serve us, even though we have the mandate to participate in the approval process, but nevertheless, that was thrown to the corner and we are never served. On that note, we cannot. And a simple matter has now been made difficult. A simple matter made difficult, especially the record. Bulldozing might take place, and then you get what you want, but the record is there. And I said in a meeting yesterday, I said the law is an ass. I quoted one of my lecturers. I will not name it here, but I named it yesterday. No, not Quiver. But this one is one of my lecturers at law school, 2008. He told me the law is an ass. Yes, a very senior lawyer. One time president of the Bar Association. You are my contemporary, you should know. He said the law is an ass.
Electoral is bad.
Yes, the law is an ass. Because sometimes, when the law is in your favor, you think the law is the best servant. Very humble, very, very appealing, very down to earth. It gives you what you want. But when circumstances change, that same law will appear to be tyrannic, oppressional, very bad. But in any case, the law is the law. So in my own opinion, and the opinion of this side, there's no justification. In fact, I see it as demeaning, very demeaning to democratic principles. To present over a proceedings wherein a political party that has the mandate of the people to participate in approving presidential nominees was excluded totally based on the dictate of 32(3). It's totally unacceptable. In conclusion, we therefore on this side, under section 108, subsection 8, we say we cannot be a party to any purported changes by conduct or expressed to any dictate of the Constitution. Any change by conduct or by expressed attitude or whatsoever, expressly, we cannot be a party to it. We cannot. So on that note, on behalf of this side, I urge this honorable house to speedily approve Honorable Manso Dumbuya as proposed chairman of the Sierra Leone Ports and Sierra Leone Ports Authority, Sierra Leone Ports and Harbour Authority. And then Mr. Gube, as a member of the Anti-Corruption Commission, I urge all members from both sides of the aisle to speedily approve them. But on the contrary, the third nominee, Mr. Edmond Sylvester Alpha, we on this side, for the fact that we are never consulted, meaning our opinion is not necessary. You can go ahead without us. Fine, go ahead.
We don't know you. Now, be back complex. I say to you,
Back complex. As a leader, you have your right.
I want to support this.
No, we just want to invite you for back complex. That since we were not consulted, it shows us that our opinion is not necessary. Our input is not necessary. You can go ahead. Irrespective of the dictate of 32(3), you can just set it aside and go ahead. And as a result, we cannot participate. Nor can we approve. Thank you very much. And God bless you.
Mr. Speaker, I'm waiting for my colleagues to go outside and make my contribution. I don't want obstruction. So I give them a few minutes till they walk out. Walkout can pay.
Why can't you approve Honorable Manso before going out? Why can't you approve them before going out?
I'm waiting for the letter go.
No, okay. Honorable members, wait.
Honorable members.
Honorable members, wait.
Chairman Sodubuya and Mr. Gobi before going out.
The question hasn't been put. Mr. Speaker,
yes.
You are in charge of proceedings of this house.
Yes.
And we cannot use him to undermine you in any way or form.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
I don't know if that is the practice. But you are in charge. Parliament can regulate itself.
Yes, certainly.
If you deem it fit at this time,
yes,
to put that question now, then we can go.
No, sir.
No, just after the leaders of the
after my presentation. After my presentation.
After his presentation,
yes.
After his presentation, we will come.
Yes, certainly.
And then we will participate in the first question.
Okay, it's all right.
We do so.
It's all right. Don't go too far.
No, we are not good.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, we start with the words of your predecessor. Predecessor, SPD Dubuya, the former speaker, told myself the truth. Told myself the truth. Mr. Speaker, they have run away because they don't have the evidences. They have gone because they don't want to see the evidences. And I will produce it for the sake of clarity and for the sake of serving the interests of our people.
So by before now, then I don't need to put two questions, not so? Just one question.
Mr. Speaker, we can deal with one question.
Yes. Proceed.
So I will take my time to make clarifications. APC telling us that we have bastardized the Constitution. Is APC telling us that, Mr. Speaker? APC that sacked the Vice President. This House, they were in charge of this House, mesmerized this House, bastardized this House, went to the court, twisted the arms of the judges, even when one day he's ruling, and they went after him. They changed this ruling. They are telling us that we have bastardized the Constitution. Told ourselves the truth. Yeah? Section 50 of how do you remove the Vice President? The constitutional provisions are very clear. Read the 50s, they are there. They did not involve Parliament. You should involve Parliament. The same minority leader acting, he was here, he was on this other side, talking about legalities now. Why did he present that one at that moment? He did it. And today he's teaching us how to move with the rule of law. They removed the bank governor, late J.D. Rogers. I was on the other side. Late Honorable Momo Pute said, let me cut him. You don't gag the law. Wait for the time of the bank governor to come to an end, and we can remove him. They removed him, and they brought in another person. Let me do there's a Latin maxim. I'm not a lawyer, but there's a Latin maxim. I have used this once. Anytime we have appointees, ex jura, jus non oritur. Ex jura, jus non oritur. There is a Latin maxim. You know, these illegal things they are talking about, it can make a law. Mr. Speaker, you know why you are different from the other speakers? I bet you and Edmond strong. You practice the law. Since you took, before your ascendancy to the speaker, you have been very meticulous in going to court. So you know the proceedings and what has been transpiring. Representing people. I know that you cannot go to court.
Of course.
So you know how to do it. Honorable Edmond strong. When you were presiding us, when you were presiding us, he was very frank and speak to the truth. Some of these things they are talking about, SO2, thief man in papa, that is thief man picking half for thief. APC telling us that we are thieves. APC telling us that we are bastardized constitutions. We have incontrovertible evidence which cannot be disputed. This bastardizing the sanctuary constitution. I just named two: the removal of the bank governor, the removal of the vice president. Yeah, you can condemn them. It is endless, Mr. Speaker. But Mr. Speaker, I have listened to them. This argument is not new. That's why I quoted the Latin maxim. Yeah, that's why I quoted the Latin maxim. If you are saying it is not, this is not the way. They are trying to interpret their own method of consultation, whether it's going to be like a West interpretation of consultation or Oxford definition or Phil Collins definition, et al. The fact remains, if you want, I ask them in the 5th Parliament, I challenge them. We don't come here to embarrass people. We are all Australians. A lecturer who have lectured them, today they are talking about they are educated. He transferred knowledge from him to them. Let us be respectful, Mr. Speaker, for once. You can't do that one to him. Do your assignment very well. Don't use a platform because of this political partyism. Try to embarrass people in the chamber. That's why I was interjecting continuously. The use of language. Looking at Sierra Leoneans, if I have my teacher in this chamber, trust me, with the knowledge I have now, if there are issues, and we talk about the issues, not the personality. Attacking the personality of somebody, you refuse to go to court. Mr. Speaker, the only way we can have a decent democracy is to abide by the rule of law. Is to respect the rule of law. Is to respect the rule of law. I was here. Mr. Speaker, I was here when Christian Antop came. The time, there was no law to invalidate. No law. 407 police station from Kailau was invalidated. Yes. We asked questions times without number. Nobody was able to tell us how those votes are invalidated. You use your court to invalidate. At that moment, Mr. Speaker, we came here and we enacted that if there is excess voting in the polling stations, the commission has the responsibility, the right, legitimacy given to invalidate. Mr. Speaker, 2012 elections, the time for the senator was challenged for overvoting to cancel the result. She told us, go police. And let me tell you, that's why I admire Marabiu, the president. I admire him so much. Not because of his my leader, but the liberalism and the Democrats. He went to court, even when the court proceedings were flawed. He did not abuse the court. He said, I have a reservation, but I accept the ruling of the court. He said, I have a reservation, but I accept the ruling of the court. He went to court and he accepted the result in good faith. When she has the right to invalidate. Mr. Speaker, if you know you are a Democrat, use the law. You know, they are talking about election malpractice. This.
Mr. Speaker, please, PM, I therefore move that SO5 to suspend for the leader for the decency of the House to continue.
Any seconder? Any seconder?
I so second, Mr. Speaker.
All those in favor say aye. Those against say nay.